We are living in quite literally the most insane breakthrough that any of us will ever see in our lifetime. It's crazier than the internet boom in the early 2000s. It's more technologically advanced than Amazon in the 2010s. And it's gonna make more millionaires than crypto did in 2020. You probably already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. AI is set to make more millionaires than any other industry ever has. And the early movers are the ones who made the money. So if we take a look back at the internet itself does not make you a millionaire. The internet is the infrastructure that you then build upon. Amazon was built on the internet. Jeff Bezos did not become a billionaire overnight just by having the internet. He used the internet to then build his company and sell books online. So that is the opportunity that you have in front of you today. Regular people like you and myself can go onto Cursor, we can go onto Lovable and build a web app. And if you're on Twitter, you've probably seen companies like Cluely and all these other tech startups coming out of nowhere. And they're getting insane VC money that they're frankly just throwing around like it's candy. It's quite crazy. They're just giving these companies tens, hundreds of millions of dollars when they just built an app that previously would have taken years and years and years to build. But regular people like you and myself can go onto one of these apps. We can go onto one of these platforms like Cursor or Lovable and just build a web app overnight. I remember when I first downloaded Cursor, I built a website and I showed everybody at the office and they thought I was insane. I showed my mom and she's like, "How did you build that? You have no technical experience. You've never coded a day in your life." And if you guys don't know already, I come from a social media background. So I make videos like this and I've made ads for tens and I've probably made thousands of ads for companies in the online space, in the e-commerce space, in brick and mortar space. And that's kind of, how we got to where we are today. But that was my experience. And I actually adopted AI in video making and in photo making to make my life easier. I remember the first time I ever touched let's call it an AI platform. I was using Photoshop and I had a photo that I took of a piece of food for a restaurant that I was doing back in Buffalo, New York, where I was before I moved down to Miami. And I used the AI generative expand tool on Photoshop and I was just like blown away. That was the kind of breakthrough moment when I was like, holy shit, I can do this with AI. I could take a photo that was, it maybe the thing would have taken up my whole screen. The photo, it was a photo of a chicken sandwich. It was like my favorite meal. But then I could use AI to make it bigger and just basically put anything I wanted in it. And that was only 2.5 years ago. And to see where AI has come from 2 years ago to today, even from this week, from last week, when there's platforms like Nano Banana from Gemini, from Google, that are coming out overnight, and you're able to create insane images with a simple text prompt, or even VO3, where you can just type in whatever you want and you can make any video you want. And when I say any video, I really mean it. If you haven't tried VO3, I recommend trying it. It does cost money. If you want to do the monthly credits, I believe it's like $250 a month. But if you're in the video space, I highly, highly recommend it. I've pretty much cut out ever having to hire an actress or an actor for hooks on ads, and it's literally insane once you learn how to use it. In another video, I'll break down kind of my flow for making VO3 videos. Getting back to where I was talking about, the opportunity that we have today is insane because people like you and I can become millionaires. We can start tech startups, but the real money isn't going to be in that. Like, not everybody can do that, and they don't have the means to do that because these platforms do cost money if you want credits, if you want tokens. And yeah, it's not going to be feasible for many people, but what anybody can do is start an AI agency. And if you haven't heard about it, what is an AI agency? So basically, what you're doing is you're implementing AI tools into local brick and mortar businesses that are frankly gonna die. I'm gonna be very blunt with you. These mom and pop businesses and these service-based businesses, let's use a tax consultant, for example. They are going to become obsolete if their competitors catch on AI, and if they do it before them, these businesses are going to be no more. Let's take my stepfather's business for an example. He owns a little bit of a complex tax consulting business. He pays a marketer $50,000 a year. He pays a data entry specialist about $35,000 to $40,000 a year. And all she does is just take invoices and put them into a spreadsheet. I literally did that like 4 years ago when I was just trying to make ends meet before I kind of took on the whole media thing. And it was the most boring job in the world. I couldn't even, I would fall asleep at work. But anyway, people nowadays can take those positions and replace them. And companies nowadays can just take that position and AI can do it better, more efficient, and faster than any person could. AI does not sleep. AI does not get their period. And AI does not need to go on vacations, and they don't call in sick. They will work around the clock doing whatever you need them to do. For a simple example, if we take that data entry specialist, I can just set up a workflow in N8N, Lindy, whatever one you want to use, and I could go then pitch it to a business. So if we're using my stepdad's consulting business, he pays $40,000 a year for this one position. So I could go to my stepdad's business and say, hey, I see that you're paying $40,000 a year for a data specialist. I don't even have to know how to do it. Building a workflow is easier than ever. You can go on platforms like Lindy, and I could say, hey, what if I could save your company $40,000 every single year? What would that do for you? They don't have to do payroll. They don't have to do the payroll taxes. They don't have to give benefits to these people. You just simply hire an agency like my company. Hopefully, you can start one as well. They can pay them $2,500 a month. So that person, the data entry specialist at $40,000 a year, is roughly $3,300 a month. They're saving $800 every single month, and they're paying for something that's better, faster, and does not stop. 24/7, 365, and I guarantee you it does better than any human could. And it's pretty scary that in 2025, only a few years into this AI boom, that these platforms can do that. Just imagine in a couple years what these platforms can do. So that's a simple example of an AI agency. You're simply going into boring local businesses, eventually hire once you kind of get to that point, and you're saying, hey, what are your pain points? They tell you your pain points, and you say, what if I could fix those with this simple AI agent? And most of these businesses don't even know how to get started with AI. They're too scared. It's just a buzzword. Like, we were just talking to another business owner today, and he had no clue what an AI receptionist was or how in the world it could work. He was saying the girl that he hires, she comes into work, she smokes weed, she goes for cigarette breaks all day, and she shows up late and she just bitches all day. So if you could just tell a business owner, like that business owner already wants to replace that person, and why not replace it with somebody who just can work all day, 24/7. It's a no-brainer for these businesses. So in a nutshell, an AI agency, you're taking pre-existing AI tools that already exist, they're already out there, they're becoming more popular than ever, and you barely even have to learn how to use them. If you could find some cracked kid that knows how to do it on Upwork or anywhere in the world, or you could learn it for yourself so you know what you're doing to get started. You then talk to the businesses and you find problems that they have, and then you solve those problems with an AI. That's pretty much what an agency is, and that's where 90% of millionaires are going to be made in the next coming years. Like, it's a blue ocean platform right now. It's a blue ocean opportunity. It's just an absolute no-brainer that like a 16-year-old or even a 45-year-old person can build this and do this in their spare time, and it only takes a couple hours per week. It's a win-win-win. You're saving the business more money, you're making money, and the job gets done better and drives better results for the business. So nobody loses here at all. The person that loses their job loses, but that's not your fault. Do you want to look back in 12 months and say, hey, this is exactly like the crypto boom. I wish I bought Bitcoin when it was $10. I wish I bought Ethereum when it was $15. And I wish I started selling on Amazon in 2008. This is the opportunity that's in front of you today. And if you don't take advantage of it within the next 6 months, let alone 12 months, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're going to miss the biggest wave in history. There's going to be people like myself, and there's going to be people like all the other AI agency owners that are absolutely crushing it in 12 months. They're going to have a team of 5 VAs. They're going to have a team of like 1 developer and 30 clients that are paying them $1 to $5 grand per month plus a setup fee. It is a no-brainer business model. So I say all this just to educate you guys. I want you guys to think about the opportunity that you have in front of you, and I want you to take advantage of it. I missed out on Amazon. I missed out on crypto. I barely even know what crypto is now. And I definitely missed out on the internet. I'm only 25. So this is the opportunity we have at hand. I'm not going to miss it, and I don't want you to miss it. So I recommend starting an AI agency in 2025. So if you thought this video was valuable and you made it this far, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be breaking down a little bit more about my agency and how I was able to, build it to where it's at today. Drop a comment, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.